tonight because it's nighttime. We're gonna smoke this thing overnight. This is a 18.5 pound brisket. So beef brisket. We're gonna do some carving right now, and then we're gonna end up putting this thing on the smoker overnight. And we're gonna have some good Cajun, Applewood kind of seasoning. Ooh. A lot of fat on this. We're gonna be taking off. Remove some of the silver skin, but we're gonna start off with this big chunk right here. Look at that. That thing just pretty much almost comes off on its own. That's just a big old piece of fat that is not going to render down in any way, shape, or form. So, go ahead and take that off. Oh my goodness. Alright, so you get into a little bit of the meat, you get into the meat. It's not a big deal. Ooh. Definitely a sharp knife helps. Ooh, look at all that fat come off there. We're not going to take it down too far, so a lot of that will be able to render off and everything like that. So we're going to take off some of this. I'm not going to go crazy with this. I'm not going to get every piece of silver skin off this in any way, shape, or form. It's just going to be kind of is what it is. I got this big old thing here. Big old bunch of fat. So we're going to try and get this cap down to about a 1/4 inch. Let's just go ahead and start carving into this bad boy. If you get into the meat, it's not that big a deal. Just kind of stop what you're doing. Yep, see, look at that. We got into it a little bit. So we'll just be a little more careful. There's still plenty of fat on this thing, to the point where you're not gonna hurt anything by cutting off a little bit of extra fat. It's not a big deal. You just cut what you feel like, and really won't matter in the end too much, as long as you don't have like this giant fat cap on top. So we're getting that down good, pretty good. Trying to get off any kind of what would be like a sharp edge. A little bit more here. So you're just trying to get rid of that fat that you just know is not going to render down. It's just hard fat. Lay that back down there. Oh man. A lot of carving here. Get that flat here looking nice. Not too much. A couple spots. We'll worry about that for, just make sure it's not pooling whenever we are cooking. So I'm trying to make that so there's not like a divot there. Then you can't get that good bark going. So that's pretty smooth. Yeah. You lose a lot, but as long as you keep that overall decent on top, won't be too bad. This is being the everyday kind of barbecue guy. You clean it up a little bit, but you don't have to go crazy. You can, I mean, literally, you can get rid of some of this extra fat, but you could cook this whole thing with all this fat on there, and some of it won't render down, but you'll still get a decent brisket. That's just my opinion, but not too thick. And that's pretty much it. It's carved up pretty decent. As you can see, we got a couple spots there and everything like that they, a little bare, but shouldn't be too bad overall. Whole thing is we're gonna cook this thing. We're gonna season it up. We're gonna cook it fat side up, so we can get all that fat to render down into the meat. And so that's the next thing. Let's go ahead and get this thing set up. This thing all carved up. Next thing is we're going to go ahead and season it. So there's different ways you can do it. You can just go ahead and put it straight, the seasoning straight on. You can use binders, you can use olive oil, whatever. This one is pretty moist. We're going to go ahead and just put it straight on here. So like I said, we get some seasoning here, and right there, a little garlic, a little paprika. It's got kind of a mix of everything in here. A little salt, pepper. And we're just gonna put it on there kind of liberally, and just kind of pat it in as we go. You're gonna make a mess. Just be ready to make a mess. Be ready to clean it up. It's just, this stuff goes everywhere. Look at that thing. That thing is nice. Like I said, we're gonna go fat cut up. We're going to, we're cooking this on Traeger, so it really doesn't matter too much. I like to go, because it kind of comes up from the bottom and it kind of goes to the side that's opposite the stack. And then it kind of comes across and then goes out the stack. So we're gonna, because that's where kind of like the first part of the smoke, which is a little bit hotter. I like to put the thicker part towards that side where the heat's coming from. A lot of people do that, and it just makes sense. This is like the bigger part. It's gonna protect it more. And then, that way you're not drying this out. This is just gonna cook way too fast if you put this like the closer to the heat source. So however you're cooking it, whatever you're using, just take that in mind of how you want to do it. There's lots of, thought processes out there for, whether it's fat cap up or fat cap up, fat cap down, any of that kind of stuff. It's really what you want. I like it up. That way, as it renders, it kind of goes into the meat, keeps the meat moist, all that kind of fun stuff. So, but there's multiple schools of thought out there. This thing is pretty much ready for the grill. Oh man, it's gonna be good. We're gonna throw this on the grill. We're gonna cook it for probably, it's 1 o'clock in the morning right now. This is gonna cook probably till about 9, 10 in the morning, probably 10ish. At that point, we're looking for the 165 internal. So we're gonna cook with the probe. Gonna just so I can get a good night's sleep as an alarm, all that kind of fun stuff, so we don't overcook anything. 165. We're gonna take it off, we'll wrap it, butcher paper, put it back on. I'll show you more about that as we get to that portion. So this thing is ready to kick on the grill, and let's get this thing going. Alright, so we just pulled this thing off the grill. It's been about 8 hours, just over 8 hours since we put it on. It's at about 165 internal right now. So we're about to wrap it, and then but before we wrap it, we're gonna do a little trick that I like to do. And it's basically just a butter chipotle injection in the flat. And this is not for everybody, but I like it. And basically helps prevent it from drying out a little bit on this end. Whoa, a little squirty squirty. So you don't have to do much. It's probably pretty nice already at 165. Nothing crazy. I don't go too deep into it either. Nothing crazy. Nothing crazy. So there you go right there. And we're gonna clean this up a little bit. I have pools of butter sitting out here. Right there. We're gonna continue to keep it fat side up as we do that. This is the again. This is the point again, flat on this side. So we're going to keep this closest to the heat source as we go through. So we're going to go back on the grill until it gets to about 203 degrees, and then it'll let us know, and then we'll take it off at that point. All right, here we go. Ooh, oh, oh man. We're gonna unwrap this bad boy. Oh, there's the first look. Oh, 18.5 pounds of awesome. Oh man, look at that. Pull this out of the way. Throw that down there. Ooh, look at that. Look at that bark on that. Oh, so good, so good. We even got it all over the floor today. All right. So we're going to go down the center. So separate the point and the flat. Oh, it's just like butter. Just like butter. Ooh. Oh, that's called a snack. Mmm. Oh man. That is so good. Oh my goodness. There's just the juices just running out of this thing. I don't even got to push down on it. The juices just run out of it. Just barely even touching it, the juices running out of it. Oh man. Take this end off. It's always good for a burnt end right there. Then we just start slicing. Oh, these are gonna be so good. Take this thing to internal temperature about 203. And then we let it rest for over 4 hours. Just put it in the oven. Didn't even turn the oven on. Just put it in the oven. Just kind of let it just like kind of heat itself. Oh man. All right. That's what you call a clapper right there. Claps together, pulls. Oh my goodness, it just pulls apart without even trying. Just pulls apart. Oh my goodness. A little fat on top of it. It just pulls apart. That is super tender. Oh my God. This is awesome. So we're gonna set aside the point. You're gonna turn set aside the flat, turn the point, and we're gonna start cutting into the point. So, oh, that is, that's a lot of fat. A lot of tenderness right there. Oh man. So you can see with it's the same. There's just so much juice just oozing out of this. Between this and this, there's just so much without even, I don't like those like websites that like just push on it, and those channels that and all the stuff comes out, like literally just touching it and you're watching it come out. So cutting this thing up. Oh man. From the point. Oh. It's just falling apart. So good.